Welcome to Christopher Reads. Tonight's presentation, The Artful Hussar, by Johann Hebel. A hussar in the last war knew that the farmer he met on the road was on his way home, having just sold his hay for 100 guilders. So he asked him for a little something with which to buy tobacco and spirits. Who knows? He might have been pleased enough with a few coppers. But the farmer swore by heaven and hell that he had just spent his own last kreutzer in the next village and had nothing left. "If only we weren't so far from my quarters," said the hussar, "we'd both find all the help we needed. But since you have nothing and I have nothing, we have no choice but to go and visit St. Alphonsus. We'll share whatever he gives us like brothers." This Alphonsus stood carved in stone in an old little visited chapel just off the track through the fields. To start with, the farm had no great desire for the pilgrimage, but the hussar wouldn't hear of it, and on the way made such strong assurances that Alphonsus had never once forsaken him that the farmer soon began to entertain hopes for himself. Surely, you are thinking, a comrade and accomplice of the hussar is hiding in the secluded chapel. Nothing of the sort. It is really the stone figure of Alphonsus before which they now kneel, and the hussar seems devoutly in prayer. "Now," he whispered in his companion's ear, "the saint has just beckoned me." And so, arising, he approached the saint, put his ear to the stony lips, and then returned joyfully to his companion. "He's given me a guilder! Look, he put it in my pocket!" And to the astonishment of the farmer, the hussar really did take out a guilder from his pocket, but one he already had with him, and as promised, shared it with him as a brother. This made sense to the farmer, and he was quite content for the hussar to try the thing once more. All went just as it had the first time, only the hussar returned even more joyfully from the saint. "The good Alphonsus has this time given us 100 guilders all at once. He's put them in your pocket." The poor farmer turned deathly pale when he heard this, and repeated his avowal that he had not even a penny to his name. But the hussar implored him to have faith in St. Alphonsus, and to have a look, even so. Alphonsus had never yet deceived him. So, like it or not, he was obliged to turn out his pockets and empty them. The 100 guilders were there indeed, and since he had accepted the half-guilder from the artful hussar, he now had to share his 100 guilders with him. It was no use remonstrating. This was all very fine and cunning, but that's not to say it's right, especially in a chapel. This concludes tonight's reading, The Artful Hussar, by Johann Hebel, narrated by Christopher Reads.